GYMDAD Fitness. We are riding high right now. We are coming off 2-0 series lead. Pacers fan, just letting you know, all you New Yorkers and East Coasters out there, that us farm boys are coming for you. 2-0, taking this baby back to Indy. We've got the 500 in town. Hopefully we can just clear this series out home in Indy. I think that the New York's got a little more fight in them. I could see them taking one and having to go back to New York. But we got Condemned Labz soles for sale. And this is a product, a limited edition one of, here it is, Condemned Labz Convict. And I will break down the label and do a comparison too as well, but we'll do that on the other portion. This is the Goblin's Grapefruit. First off, when I saw the soles for sale and this creepy leprechaun right here, I hope some of you guys, I'm a 90s kid, and I grew up on those Disney movies when they'd release them, they'd release brand new Disney movies on Friday night. And they had this one called Luck of the Irish, and it was kind of creepy. It reminds me of that. And I just remember, you never, the moral of the story is never do a deal with the dirty leprechaun here. And that's what looks like we just did with this pre-workout. We did the deal. We sold the soul, and we are going to take the product now. And this one claims 1 scoop for 20.3 grams. I'm not a big grapefruit fan. Grapefruit's kind of bitter, so we're kind of curious to see. I feel like they had to do it though with the Goblin's Grapefruit, the name. Get the units correct here. A fresh tub here. And then this I got from Best Price Sports Nutrition. So shout out to those guys. They're a new up and coming business. They are working on their website right now, and they're going to have a lot of hitters out there. A lot of unique products. Let's show you a few pre's I'm going to be reviewing from these guys. I got a slew of them that will be hitting from these guys. Got this Force of Nature, and you can go check out their website if you're into all these labels. These are not drivers. These are Stim Junkie pre's, and so check out their website and look at some of these labels because they are beautiful. They got some stacks. I hope that the experiences match. And then Ashes. Apparently, this has got almost like a Smash AMF kind of style to it. This is all from Best Price. This is Best Price Sports Nutrition, not Best Price Nutrition. This is the better of the best prices, Best Price Sports Nutrition. And then we got the Venom. And this one looks different. This is from a different manufacturer than the other Venom. Kind of a light micro scoop. And then same type of look. I like this. It looks like I got IR8, not IR8, IR8. These two, I'm not going to lie, maybe they're good. They look like Temu version of the original Venom and the original IR8. And even the IR8 one, the label breakdown, if you look at the website, it's very similar to the style. But yeah, this is all Best Price Sports Nutrition, and that's where this one came from as well. To shout out to those guys, I got a referral code to utilize for those guys as well. So yeah, I like to support the up and coming businesses, especially when the ones that are willing to roll the dice and carry some of these, borderline pre-workouts. But soles for sale, Condemned Labz, well-known brand. They've been around a long time too. Very amazing how long they've been around. I actually did a review. I found out I was having my first kid, my 5-year-old, and I remember that day right before going to the gym. I found out, and I literally just drank that Convict. I was in California, and I traveled with this one, brought it with me, and so I'll never forget that one. You always kind of remember time periods of your life when you had certain pre's. But let's see what we got going on here at the Goblin Grapefruit. Damn, it definitely tastes like grapefruit. It's good though. I like it. I give it like a 9 out of 10. It's very, very solid. I completely forgot to even get you guys the grammage. Let me do that real quick on the cap. Tar it out real fast. So this one claims 1 scoop, 20.3, 1 level scoop, no packing, just scooping and rolling. Came out at 18, flat on the dot. We'll wait one more time just for confirmation. Zero that thing out. I'm going to round it just ever so slightly. See what we got. 21.3. 20.3. So, yeah, so go ahead and maybe just slightly round it. Just put a little topper on it. Nothing crazy if you want to hit the grammage. Or if you want to be right on the dot, scale it out with a flat level. Seem to come in slightly underdosed. So just be wary of that. But let's get into the label breakdown and effects. GYMDAD Fitness. Today we have Condemned Labz Souls for Sale. And this is the limited edition version of Convict pre-workout, their original Condemned Labz product. This is a staple. This one's been around for years. Actually, I mentioned in my review, I reviewed this one a while back. This is one of those pre-workouts GYMDAD Fitness actually took the day. His workout, he found out he was going to become a dad for the first time. So a very special one in my heart. Condemned Labz and Convict, and that was almost damn near 5 years ago. So crazy, we see a 2 amino pre that hasn't gone away and it's been around that long. But let's hop into the label of this one. Everyone's going to want to know. There's been a few reviews out in Souls for Sale, so it's no big surprise. This review is no breaking news, but some of the things that are different is I've actually just ran this one. Usually I run pre-workouts the same day I review, but today I just ran Convict, just to kind of like avoid the recency bias of products. You know, sometimes we think the one we just ran is always the best, or sometimes we have a nostalgia factor or something we ran like a long time ago, just like we remember it being like legendary. And so with Souls for Sale, let's get straight into the label breakdown. And I got a pretty good analysis now that I've ran both of these ones relatively recently within the last couple days. And so we got citrulline malate, 6 grams. That's the same amount as Souls for Sale. Beta-alanine 3.2, betaine 2.5, agmatine sulfate 1.5. So the betaine and agmatine sulfate are both new. So a little more pump additions in this one as well. So we're not just talking about limited edition added stimulants. And then caffeine anhydrous 350, 202 amino. That's the fun stuff. That's the exact same as the previous one. And then here's where we add a little extra. We got 200 rhododendron, so nice little add. That's a cousin to 2 amino. It's not jungulins. Like jungulins is the more natural form. It's supposed to be like the same thing, just the natural form, the English walnut, the jungulins product there. And then there's xanthine or HCl, more stimulant effect, 60 milligrams. And then alpha-yo, another one of the differences at 1.5. This one just had euhembine HCl, and euhembine HCl I think was at 4 of this one. I don't actually sliced off the label of this one because my brother has the other half of it. It was at 3 or 4. I can't remember at the moment, but just somewhere around there. This one dials back the euhembine HCl at 1.5 and then adds the alpha-yo. I love the fact that they drew back the euhembine HCl, just a way to make it's not like too urgent, but then they cranked up that alpha-yo. Alpha-yo, for you that don't know the difference between the two or just kind of want a refresher, alpha-yo is a little more aggressive than the other one. Euhembine HCl adds a sense of urgency, but alpha-yo can sometimes add some more euphoric factors, but at the same time, it can also add some of those negatives that some people don't like, a little extra heart racing, a little more runny nose, jitters, cold sweats, if it's too much or a really pure source. But it also can add for a little more euphoria. It can add for a little more slap and just kind of crank up the urgency and add a little more adrenaline to the workout. And then we get to the cognitive complex, and this is almost like, I call this like the GNC brand vitamin ship style, cognitive complex, because like, those guys can't use the 2 aminos, the jungulins, the rayas, and so they got to do kind of like this kind of style. And this is tyrosine, CDP choline, L-dopa, Suboxy, Cogniq, and estrogen. That's at 2 milligrams, 250, 250, 100, 100, and 50. So it's kind of burning through those. And some of those ones we saw on Convict, some we didn't. Honestly, like a lot of you guys will see that and you like the little added benefit, but you're really here to find out about the 2 amino and the alpha-yo and the raya and what kind of differences this is in titles. And overall, they both kind of come in right around the same amount. It's within time period, right around the same time period. It's like within the 30 minutes is when you kind of like start getting hit with the adrenaline from the euhembine HCl, the alpha-yo, and then they both peak around the 40 minutes. They're both very euphoric. Convict Souls for Sale, extremely. It's not like a situation where it just becomes a straight aggressive pre from the happy good vibes one it was the first time with a touch of urgency. This one, instead of a touch of urgency, you get a whole cup of urgency with this one. It's nothing over the top though. I didn't get any of the negative alpha-yo experiences. And I'm like somewhat sensitive to alpha-yo. Like I'm not desensitized. Like I know some of you guys, like you get up in the morning, you throw a scoop of alpha-yo in your Wheaties before you hit the gym. And for me, alpha-yo is like something I enjoy at like 1 gram to 1.5 grams. And then one of the ones, for instance, my max alpha-yo content I like would be something like Maniaco or Legit V2 when it comes to a 2 amino pre-workout. And I thought they nailed it. This one was a perfect amount of urgency I wanted. And this one, the pumps also were very savage on this one. It increased it a little bit more. I'm also out of pump products, so I've got a pretty good idea of how this one ran, because when I ran it, it was just straight up pre-workout, nothing else included. And so this is what limited editions are supposed to be. It's like, so the effects part, like how this one kind of kicked in and came in, it's very, very similar to Convict. The time period, the time frame, the timetable, and when everything hits is very similar, except for you just crank up that dial about a whole notch more on urgency. And maybe you have some trade-off with that though, because when you have that, you kind of overpower a little bit of the Tumino. And so they kept the Tumino the exact same. And so just literally imagine the Convict experience, but then add just a little more urgency and then draw back that euphoria, that dancing vibe, like 0.5 more. And how these ones kind of fit into where I trained. I actually wish I would have switched these ones around. I ran this twice. Chest day was perfect for this one. Out of Saturday morning. Sometimes those are sleepy time periods. You got the old folks in, chill music. But this one had enough slap that kind of woke me up from the dead. So this would probably be the one I would pull on time periods like that when I need just a shot of adrenaline. This one's when I already I'm pretty, riding pretty good energy-wise to the gym, and I just want something to put me in more of a happy spirit type mood play. And I'd also ran these both on like at-home workouts with the gym being closed, and I kind of wish I would have flopped them around. I ended up doing this one for like my outside leg day with lunges and stuff, and this was a little too hard-hitting, I thought, for like a workout like that. I wish I would have went with one with a little more euphoria, and then did something like this one for like my in the garage push-up workout slash. I was going from exercise bike to push-ups to exercise bike, and both of them are still amazing workouts, freaking awesome. But I kind of wish I would have flip-flopped them around a little bit, because this one very slaps a bit more. And how I took this one, did it flat levels for both of them. Honestly, intermediate, like intro level stim junkies could probably do a flat level this one, but stim do crazy motherfuckers out there, I enjoyed it at a nice fat heaping scoop. And so if you're a stim junkie, don't be afraid to go and do that. Use the product. He's like, we got a billion pre-workouts around, might as well have a good time with it. But soles for sale, definitely want to be a little cautious. If you're not like an advanced user, you definitely want to start off like just a flat level. But you guys that drink Alpha Yo for breakfast, you can go and get yourself a nice heaping scoop of this and you'll be just fine. And it'll have the perfect amount of slap. So this one, they freaking nailed it, loved it. Scoring wise for this, I would give it like a 8 out of 10 Euphoria. Draw it back just a notch versus the 9 out of 10 with Convict. And then sense of urgency was perfect, 9 out of 10. I could see a little bit more. I could 9.5. Like, it's pretty fucking good. That's what I'm trying to get to say with this one. Pumps were really good, 9 out of 10. They nailed it on like energy wise, was just perfect. I give it a 10 out of 10. Not saying it's the most energetic pre, but it was just the perfect level for the other factors going on. Is why I gave it a 10 out of 10. And tunnel vision focus, this is another one. This one kind of dials up a bit more. The Alpha Yo always kind of gets me locked in a little bit more, gets me zoned into the mind-muscle connection. So I'd go and give this a 9 out of 10 tunnel vision focus. I mean, honestly, to hit that 10 out of 10 mark, I feel like you almost need to use that hidden sauce at like Smash AMF, Excelsior, Firestorm, that kind of shit that they got going on in there. So for this one, just using the 2-Mino caffeine Alpha Yo, it's about as good as you can get with that 9 out of 10. And then, so there's a score breakdown. We've done the label breakdown, the comparison, and kind of giving my experience. I'll just do like a quick little one, like, should you buy this one? Is this one for you? Is it worth it? So a lot of the times you see these limited editions. They come out, they're very, very similar. I've seen times where it's like literally the exact same product, but just a better version of it. And then all of a sudden this one gets cannibalized, or this one gets cannibalized. This one does, and then this one's the only one people want to buy. Or you have the opposite, like Helios Limited, where like the limited kind of sucks. You feel like they dropped the ball in the 2-Amino breakdown. And so everyone just kind of chucks this to the wayside. It becomes wasted product. And some people buy it and feel like they got duped, because they like the old ones, they like the original so much, they thought they might as well get the limited. And then everyone just ends up getting this one. But this is how a limited edition is supposed to be. They literally kept everything that's great about Convict and just dialed up the smack, dialed up the urgency just a notch bit more. Yes, you do have some drawback, losing a little bit of the euphoria. It's not like it's dancing, happy vibes, just grooving and moving in the gym. This one adds a little more locked in focus, tunnel vision, but the euphoria does not completely go away. Still extremely euphoric pre-workout, very happy pre. Just for me, it kind of changes the way I use them. And I love that. They kind of hit different classes now, so it gives me a reason to get the limited edition. And if this one sounds like something for you, check out Best Price Sports Nutrition. Not Best Price Nutrition, but Best Price Sports Nutrition, up-and-coming business that's carrying some small hitters. That's where I got this one from myself, and they have some other really cool pre-workouts on there. But anyway, definitely worth. Souls for sale by Condemned Labz. Also, you gotta freaking love the gold, and looks like you just made a dirty deal with the Leprechaun. Kind of reminded me of that old Disney movie, Luck of the Irish, with those creepy leprechauns playing those kids in basketball and beating the snot out of them. Souls for Sale by Condemned Labs, for sure worth it. Definitely a varies in the product categories compared to the Convict, and it's worth the investment. And so, huge supporter of this one. Like, subscribe.